Have earned a reputation as instantly recognizable and widely trusted as the M136 At4. Compact, disposable, and brutally effective against armored threats, the At4 represents a philosophy of warfare where simplicity, speed, and firepower are placed directly into the hands of the individual soldier. To understand why the M136 At4 has become a staple of armed forces around the world, we need to look not only at how it works, but why it was created, how it is used in real combat, and what role it continues to play on today's battlefields. The story of the At4 begins during the Cold War, a period defined by the expectation of massive armored assaults. Western military planners anticipated waves of enemy tanks advancing rapidly across Europe, supported by mechanized infantry. Traditional anti-tank weapons were either too heavy, too complex, or too slow for regular infantry units to use effectively. Soldiers needed a weapon that could be carried easily, deployed instantly, and operated with minimal training. The solution came from Sweden, where the Saab Bofors Dynamics company developed a lightweight, single-use anti-tank weapon originally known as the Pansarskott M86. The United States later adopted this design as the M136 At4. At first glance, the At4 looks deceptively simple. It is essentially a sealed fiberglass launch tube with a rocket inside, preloaded and ready to fire. There is no reloading, no complicated assembly, and no need for additional equipment. Once fired, the empty tube is discarded. This disposable design may seem wasteful, but in combat it offers a major advantage: absolute reliability. Every At4 is factory sealed, protected from dust, moisture, and damage, ensuring that when a soldier pulls the trigger, the weapon works. The At4 fires an 84mm high-explosive anti-tank projectile, designed primarily to defeat light to medium armored vehicles. Its warhead uses a shaped charge, a technology that focuses explosive energy into a narrow jet capable of penetrating armor. When the projectile strikes its target, the shaped charge collapses inward, forming a superheated metal jet that punches through steel. While the At4 is not intended to destroy modern main battle tanks from the front, it is highly effective against armored personnel carriers, infantry fighting vehicles, bunkers, and fortified positions. Against tanks, it can be devastating when aimed at weaker side or rear armor. One of the defining characteristics of the At4 is its ease of use. A soldier removes the safety caps, extends the sights, shoulders the launcher, checks the backblast area, and fires. The entire process takes seconds. This simplicity allows even lightly trained infantry to engage armored threats with confidence. In the chaos of battle, where stress and confusion dominate, a weapon that requires minimal steps can make the difference between survival and defeat. The concept of backblast is critical to understanding how the At4 operates. When the weapon is fired, hot gases are expelled from the rear of the launcher, creating a dangerous zone behind the shooter. This means the At4 must be used with caution, especially in confined spaces. Early versions of the weapon were not suitable for firing indoors, limiting their use in urban combat. However, as warfare increasingly moved into cities, improved variants were developed to reduce backblast, allowing soldiers to fire from enclosed areas with greater safety. In combat scenarios, the At4 is often carried as a secondary weapon. A rifleman can sling it over the shoulder while still carrying a standard assault rifle. This flexibility allows infantry units to respond immediately to unexpected armored threats without waiting for specialized anti-tank teams. In ambush situations, a single At4 shot can disable the lead vehicle in a convoy, trapping the rest and creating chaos. This tactic has been used repeatedly in modern conflicts, proving the weapon's effectiveness far beyond its simple design. Over the years, the At4 has seen extensive combat use. From Cold War-era training exercises to real-world conflicts in the Middle East, Asia, and Europe, it has demonstrated remarkable versatility. In Afghanistan and Iraq, At4 launchers were frequently used not only against vehicles, but also against fortified enemy positions. The weapon's high explosive power made it ideal for destroying enemy strongpoints, walls, and defensive structures. In these environments, the At4 functioned as both an anti-armor and assault weapon. Another key factor in the At4's success is its psychological impact. The presence of a capable anti-armor weapon in an infantry unit changes the way both sides approach the battlefield. Enemy forces are less likely to rely on lightly armored vehicles when they know infantry units are equipped with weapons capable of destroying them. For friendly troops, the AT-4 provides confidence. Knowing that you have a reliable answer to armored threats can significantly boost morale and combat effectiveness. As technology evolved, so did the AT-4. New variants were developed with specialized warheads designed for different missions. Some versions focus on enhanced penetration, while others are optimized for anti-structure roles. There are also training variants that allow soldiers to practice safely and cost-effectively. These improvements have ensured that the AT-4 remains relevant even as battlefield conditions change. Despite its strengths, the AT-4 is not without limitations. Its single-use nature means that once fired, the soldier must rely on other weapons or teammates for further engagements. Its effective range is also limited compared to guided anti-tank missiles. Accuracy depends heavily on the shooter's skill and judgment, especially against moving targets. For heavily armored modern tanks, the AT-4 is not a guaranteed kill unless used tactically. These limitations highlight an important truth. The AT-4 is not meant to replace heavier anti-tank systems, but to complement them. In modern infantry doctrine, the AT-4 fits into a layered approach to anti-armor defense. Light, disposable weapons like the AT-4 handle immediate threats at close range. Heavier systems, such as guided missiles, engage high-value targets at longer distances. Together, they create a flexible and resilient defensive capability. This balance ensures that infantry units are never completely helpless, regardless of the enemy they face. The continued use of the AT-4 by numerous armed forces around the world is a testament to its design philosophy. In an era of increasingly complex and expensive military technology, the AT-4 stands out as a reminder that simplicity still matters. A weapon does not need advanced electronics or guidance systems to be effective. It needs to work, every time, under the worst possible conditions. Today, as conflicts continue to evolve, the role of infantry remains as critical as ever. Urban warfare, irregular combat, and rapid deployments demand weapons that are portable, reliable, and powerful. The M136 At4 meets these demands with a design that has proven itself across decades of service. It empowers the individual soldier, giving them the ability to confront armored threats head-on, without hesitation. In the end, the At4 is more than just a disposable rocket launcher. It is a symbol of modern infantry warfare, where adaptability and speed are just as important as raw firepower. Its widespread adoption, long service life, and continued relevance speak volumes about its effectiveness. Whether used to stop an advancing vehicle, breach a fortified position, or provide a decisive edge in a critical moment, the M136 At4 remains a trusted companion on the battlefield, proving that sometimes the simplest solutions are the most powerful.